So I'm not going to do that, or I'm not doing that very often, but if you like our channel, if you like the content we're providing, please like and share. Click the bell. I don't know what that means. I've never done that in any channel, but if you've done it, God bless you. Okay, let's continue with the video. Hello and welcome to another video. Today it's gonna be just a very quick walk around the car, what we will do this winter or what we will upgrade. Right now it has roughly 30 centimeters of snow. Wait, let me show you. Yeah, it just got snowy in Switzerland. Some like it, some not. I love it. Yeah. What are we gonna do, or what am I gonna show you? We had a few issues this year at the track, which we found out. We had some intercooler pipes blown off. They're not damaged, they're just slipped out. The reason was, let me show you. We used these pipes with the additional blow off. The issue with these were I upgraded them quite early. It's one of the very first things I've done. They fitted horribly. It was a real pain to install them. And another issue was, as you can see here, they just have these very, very small bumps to secure these ones, the rubber hoses on them. As you can see, that's these ones that we made them just because there weren't any at all, so we had to make some. But yeah, it worked until we had a little bit more boost, and when we got into 7th gear we blew them twice, so I just stopped shifting into 7th and just started lift and coast in 6th when I should have got into 7. So we blew them twice. This year we have some issues with the turbo. The intake cooler pipe is blown off, so just too much power, unfortunately. So let's see if we can fix that. So that was one of the issues. We gonna fix that with new pipes. These new pipes are not only as you can see, it's already hard to pull the rubber hoses off because they have really nice ones. Yeah, that's gonna help secure the rubber hoses on them very much, and we're gonna upgrade the clamps as well. So we will have different clamps and also the hoses. Let me show you the clamps. They're obviously not the same size, but just for example, we used these just standard ones. I thought maybe it's good enough. It wasn't. So now we're gonna go with some of these because you can just turn them on and they are very, very secure compared to these. And then that problem should be eliminated. And the diameter is also a little bit bigger. The stock ones are 1.75 inch and these are 2 inch, so a little bit bigger, which also will help reduce the pressure you have in the intercooler system. So that's one of the things we're gonna change. And the next thing is, that's the stock pipe we used. The inlet is actually pretty huge. It's 3.5 inch or something like that. So it's pretty huge, but the outlet to the turbo is quite small. I don't have, Let me show you how small it is, because that's the new one, that's 3 inch. It's a huge difference. That's very good for stock turbo, but not with a bigger one. You need more air, and that's why we upgraded to this one. And another thing I didn't really like is this one right here. That's, maybe you can see it, it's a little bit oily. That's the, I don't know what's the word in English, Kurbelgehäuseentlüftung.
What? What the fuck?
Because this one is very, very close to the turbo. It's gonna heat it up, most likely. I don't think the rubber one or the stock ABS one won't have that much issue, but aluminum could get hot or could also take in the heat from the turbo. So we just wrapped it with gold foil. That should help reduce intake temperatures as well. So we're gonna just improve some lines. We had some small issues. One got damaged, and then now we're gonna change that as well. Then we sent the gearbox to Kotuc because after the accident I thought maybe not the baddest idea, have that checked. And yeah, as you can see, it's a Christmas present actually. This one in here, that's why we had some issues with rattling at the front. We just saw that when we removed the gearbox, because the gearbox, oh, now it's fallen off. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
The guy, Michael, who fixed my car at the racetrack, he's also the one who repaired this one. The bolt in here, which is often loose, just snapped completely after during the accident. So that's now fixed as well, and that issue should be gone too. And because we have the Cyvex, we're gonna install this one. It's from ECU Master. It's not gonna replace our dash completely, but it's just gonna sit in front of it. So the reason for that is because I want to have all the data on one screen and not the other one. And we have, yeah, I just can have much more data with this, so I decided to go with this. We are not only upgrading a lot of this stuff, we're going also to upgrade the fuel pump. We are right now making a plug-and-play kit for the fuel pump. So you have a drop-in plug-and-play kit with a much bigger pump. Right now there are some parts getting 3D scanned and then 3D printed. So for you don't have to cut anything. I got a spare one, tank with pump stuff. And we're gonna make a wiring loom, so you don't have to wire anything, you just have to plug everything in, and that's it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna upgrade the fuel pump. You will gonna get, you will be able to buy that in a couple of weeks in our web shop. Most likely by the end of January, when we have tested everything. So yeah. And obviously the biggest thing we're gonna change is the complete body kit. Getting a Rally 2 style body kit. Big front diffuser, big rear wing, and a lot of more power. So that's the that's the biggest changes we're gonna have for 2024. Overall, it's just to make the car more reliable, a little bit more powerful. It won't get 1,000 horsepower, but 70, 80 horsepower more maybe. Goal is to have a 5 at the start, so 500 something. So not crazy over the 430 we have right now, but just a little bit more power. Make it a little bit more reliable with gaskets and everything, and have a lot more aero, because who doesn't like aero? And the car will look a little bit different because of the kit, but overall just some decent upgrades. No, I know it's quite huge, or the upgrades are quite huge. So yeah, I hope we'll be done in a couple of weeks. By the end of January is the goal. The Kotuc gearbox is already on the way back. That was already sent in for checking after the accident, but everything's fine. So that's getting back in the car with their new 4-wheel drive controller, which most likely will change a few things, because we can now have a torque splitter front and back as we wish. We'll see, but I think that's gonna be cool. And because we're gonna run much more power, and the goal is 500 plus horsepower, we're gonna install Calford cams. The ABC, is it? I think it's the highest for racing and not for drag racing. It's still circuit racing, so this one gonna be in the car in about a month or so. That's gonna be cool. And I bought this one from Lamspeed. We're not gonna install it yet because I want to make sure we got to 500 plus horsepower with the rest stock, because this one requires a lot of changes, like fuel lines, and you have to rewire a lot of stuff. It's a complete new dry throttle body from Bosch, a bigger one. It's not hugely bigger, but it's bigger, and it's just another possible error we could fix or fit in the car. So we're not gonna install them right now, maybe this summer when we have a little bit time left, maybe not when everything else runs fine. But for now we're running stock ones because it just saves us some time, and it's another thing that we know that works. So that's for later. And as you probably already seen in the background, if you haven't, just have a look at it right now. We're gonna build some more aero, because that's one thing I miss the most from the Evo. The Evo was such an aero heavy car. It was so cool to drive. You'd have corner speeds way beyond everything I've ever driven before or afterwards, because you just had so much aero load all over the car. So that's why I decided to add a little bit more aero to the GR. I got from a guy I knew from the forum, I don't know which one exactly. He had made a rear wing, which is pretty awesome, and I got the data from him. So now it's just 3D printed everything, just to make sure everything fits and everything sits where it will be. And let me show you what I mean by that. This is just a 3D printed part, or everything is 3D printed. Actually, as you can see, it just bolts straight to the rear hatch, and the wing is gonna be here underneath. So we got all the data from him, and now just installed it to make sure everything fits, and it does. So now we're gonna make these ones, the ones on top, and the rear ones, or the lower ones, are gonna be made from aluminum or aluminium, and they're just gonna be billet parts. And these ones right here, they're gonna be carbon fiber, just cut out from a big carbon fiber part. So that's what we're gonna do at the rear. At the front, it's not finished yet. Let me show you. Old man. It's just a huge front splitter. This one's not the actual front splitter, it's made from plywood. But I need to have a reference point, and that's very cheap to work with. And yeah, that's why I took one of these and just cut it to the size I needed to have. And now we're gonna have that made in carbon fiber. As you can see, there's a gap between here. That's gonna be filled with an aluminum panel. So just to make sure there's no air going above and all the air is going underneath it. This should level it out pretty easily. And as you can see, some green rubber hoses. That's what I called, or that's what I said before. We just had to change some of these as well. this is gonna look so cool, I hope. Yeah, so that's what we are going to do this winter, or that's what we are already doing. The car is already stripped of the gearbox and differential and the steering rack. Yeah, we're gonna change a few things, or we need to rebuild a few things. Got a little bit of more damage than I thought during the crash. So, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And other than that, have a great week. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.